Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kenny Wallace Show, brought to you by JEGS, the leader in high-performance aftermarket car parts. Go to jegs.com for anything and everything you need for your car. I'm back from Bristol. Tennessee, and I had the best time of my life. Left early, stopped by the Nashville Fairgrounds, stopped by Brother Rusty's dealerships, and finally made my way into the Bristol Motor Speedway. And wow, what a sight that is to behold. Man, oh man, they've had some great football games there. 160,000 seat stadium. They talk about the big house in Michigan. That ain't nothing. This is Bristol Motor Speedway was like two big houses. So, when you go to Bristol, it's you just stare. It's so big. It's so awesome. So today's show, you see it scrolling right now. You see it scrolling right here. Kyle Larson versus Ryan Preece. What's the Herminator going to say about this one? Oh, I have so much to say. Well, let's break it down, okay? I don't think I really have any disclaimer for this because I don't have anything in this subject matter. However, you know the Herminator. I have my opinion on this subject, but we got to go all the way back to a couple weeks ago, Circuit of the Americas, right? That big road course race. Remember, the race was going beautifully, and then at the very end, we went green, white, checkered like 4 times. Everybody was just running into each other. And about that, about running, about everybody running into each other, I talked to Austin Dillon about that. And we're going to interview him right here with the new NASCAR race day. It's back, but myself and Charlie Marlowe, we have that content for you. And we're going to be airing it right here on the Kenny Wallace Show. And I asked Austin Dillon, I said, why y'all keep running into each other? What's going on? So just a peek inside that interview, he says, you know what, Herman? Somebody hits you, you hit them back because these new next-gen cars, Austin Dillon said the front ends are so strong that you can retaliate. He said you used to not be able to retaliate because the front bumpers were weak and you were afraid to retaliate because you had knocked the radiator out of your race car. And as you know, you got to have a radiator to keep your race car, the water cool. So they're just knocking the crap out of each other right now because the front bumpers on these next-gen cars are really strong. So, all right, we're at Circuit of the Americas a couple weeks ago, and they start wrecking each other. What's going on here? Hey, we thought the race was going to be over an hour ago. They're still wrecking each other. Green, white, checkered, wreck again. Green, white, checkered, wreck again. Except this time, it was Ryan Preece. Remember that? Remember when Ryan Preece, he was the second one in the last couple of years to say, all these drivers are hacks. So the word hack, H-A-C-K is the way everybody's spelling it, hack. So Ryan Preece gets on national TV. All these NASCAR Cup drivers are hacks. Now, if it was a Herminator, I'd say there ain't one of them can drive. But anyway, so keep that in your brain, right? Ryan Preece is mad because everybody's running into each other, right? Now, Denny Hamlin's actions detrimental. I listened to it, and Denny commented on Kyle Larson. Remember, it's Kyle Larson versus Kyle Preece. Now, let's go forward. Now we're at Bristol. This is where it's Ryan Preece versus Kyle Larson. So they're out there racing. I mean, this is a hell of a race at Bristol. They're on the wall. They're hitting. I mean, it's kind of, we know Eldora is the real dirt track. I'm going to give you all that, Eldora, and I love Eldora. But I'm going to tell you, with this dirt race at Bristol, it was good. They were on the wall. They were inches from it. They were getting into it. It had that Eldora feel, riding high, not afraid to die, sliders. They're doing it all. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a shocking blow to our dirt pride. Our hero, Kyle Larson, spins out. And they're like, whoa, what the hell just happened? Kyle just spun out, and that's all there was to it. He spun out. Kyle Larson spun out and turns 3 and 4. Now, the next show is going to be, okay, Kyle Larson is coming from the back to the front. So here he comes. Now, he's going. He's not being polite because he's got to get to the front. Well, this is, and I witnessed him use a couple people up. And I'm like, okay, well, he's coming. Listen, when I looked in the rear view mirror years ago and I saw the great Dale Earnhardt Sr. coming, you had 2 choices. Get out of the way because you saw him. He's way back. Next time you looked up, he's on your ass. So you got 2 choices. He's either going to knock you out of the way or you move out of the way. And that's what Kyle Larson was doing. He was coming back to the front after Kyle spinning out all by himself. So Kyle Larson, he's bopping and weaving and get out of my way. I got to get back up to the front. Well, this is where it goes bad. Kyle Larson gets to Kyle Preece. Now, remember I told you, Ryan Preece, excuse me. Remember what I told you about Ryan Preece at Circuit of the Americas? Ryan Preece is pissed at everybody. I'm tired of everybody running into me. So when Kyle Larson gets to Ryan Preece, he kind of does this, hey, I need some room. You need to lift. Ryan Preece, you need to lift because I'm passing you and I'm going to the front. So now let me go back to the actions detrimental, right? So Denny Hamlin says, hey, listen, Kyle Larson is one of my best friends, but I have to call Kyle out. Every time Kyle Larson gets to you, he needs to go and he's tired of messing with you. He just kind of goes, kind of forces you into the wall or off the track. Now, this is what Denny Hamlin's saying. As they say, don't shoot the messenger. Denny Hamlin said this about Kyle Larson. So, now let's go back. Kyle Larson starts to do this to Ryan Preece, starts to run him up into the wall, and, stuff gets bad. Or, Kyle Larson's on the outside, they're bopping and weaving. Now, they've gone into it. They've been at it. Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, they've been into it already here the last couple of laps. Except this time, if you're going to fight, Ryan Preece is going to win the fight because he's like a little UFC fighter. And me and Kyle Larson, we're kind of the same. We're scrawny little white dudes, and we probably ain't going to win a fight. We might outrun you, but we ain't going to win a fight. So, these 2 go at it, but Ryan Preece gets the best of Kyle Larson, knocks him out of the race. So, I think the message here is Ryan Preece has made his point. Quit jacking with me. I'm going to give you a lane. Hold your lane. Dale Earnhardt Sr. always taught me this. Herman, give me a lane. And up in Wisconsin, that's what they do. They used to paint and maybe they still do it. There was a white line around the middle of all the local tracks in Wisconsin. All you Wisconsin people. They did it back in the Joe Shear, Dick Trickle days. And if you're gonna race the bottom, you're gonna stay the bottom. And if somebody's getting on your outside, you just can't come up and run them into the wall. So if you cross that white line that was drawn around the middle of these Wisconsin tracks, black flag, you're out of the race. But Dale Sr. always said that to me too. Herman, he wasn't talking to me, but he said, hold your line. Give me a lane, right? So it all goes bad, and Ryan Preece gets the best of Kyle Larson, knocks him out of the race. So Kyle Larson's out. Can't even get back going. All right, so that's that. Well, then they interview Kyle Larson after the race, and, Kyle's going along pretty good on Fox Sports. And then towards the end, he does the old Herminator. And I know everybody's like this, except I'm the one that usually does them. See, Charlie Marlowe won't let me cuss on YouTube, but I throw the F-bomb all the time around my people. The people that love me, they know the way I am. And, the F-bomb fits in perfect places. So we get 3/4 way through this interview with Kyle Larson, and he's he drops the F-bomb. And basically the F-bomb was used in how come Ryan Preece couldn't get the over it, right? It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, you're still mad. So, he felt like, that cost him his race. Well, Ryan Preece felt the same way at Circuit of the America. You guys just run all over me. You cost me a good finish. So now let's start wrapping this up, okay? First of all, I'm going to say this. I love Kyle Larson. I think he's a great guy. I like him because I'm his friend. I like to think Kyle Larson is my friend. But when the Herminators got the YouTube show, I got to call it the way I see it. And then you have Denny Hamlin, who's also Kyle Larson's dear friend. Remember, they golf together. Denny Hamlin calls Kyle out, and he says, look, Kyle Larson got a bad habit of us always being in his way. And, okay, we get it. Okay, Kyle Larson's better than us. Let's move out of the way. Except that's not the way it works in the big time, in NASCAR. All these drivers are pretty good. They're gonna fight for positions. They're gonna fight for positions because this is stage racing. We're racing for points in these stages. It's 10 points to win, 9 points for second, and this determines championships. Now I know you don't like the stage racing, but these championships and these playoffs at the end of the year are determined by stage points. So they're not just going to move over because they look in the mirror and Kyle's coming. So times have changed. So now we got all the dirt fans going, I hate Ryan Preece. All the dirt racing fans are now defending Kyle Larson. So you got the Ryan Preece fans, which are asphalt fans. We hate Kyle Larson. And then, all the dirt fans are doing the same thing. We hate Ryan Preece. So now we're not even trying, but now we got this. Here we go again. And this is what the Herminator's trying to get rid of. Now we got dirt and asphalt people going at it over two drivers. Ryan Preece is clearly an asphalt dude. Kyle Larson is clearly a dirt dude. And what's even crazier about it, we're going to have another show about this, is Kyle Larson. I'm like, he announced it before the race that there should not be dirt on Bristol. And that's a whole nother subject. But it's like scrambled eggs at this moment, right? So it's like, oh my God, this race was so good. We got people, I like dirt on Bristol. I don't like dirt on Bristol. Boy, that was a good race. It's like, so anyway, so we're going to wrap this up, okay? Ryan Preece was the winner. See that trophy right there? I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Look here. You see that? That was my first trophy win in my life. That was at Quincy, Illinois, TNT Kartways. So the trophy, ladies and gentlemen, the fight between Kyle Larson and Ryan Preece, this trophy goes to Ryan Preece. Hate to say it because I'm a dirt dude, but, listen, once I collected all the information, and really it was Denny Hamlin that said on actions detrimental. Kyle Larson tend to use you up when he comes by. Now, we don't see that on TV a lot, right? TV don't show everything. It's like, hey, I don't know what was happening. I wasn't driving a car. But regardless, message has been sent now. And if you go back years ago where NASCAR's, remember when Robert Pemberton come out in NASCAR and said, we're not going to penalize anybody anymore. We're just going to let the drivers have at it. And the quote was, boys, have at it. You will govern yourself. And what you witnessed between Ryan Preece and Kyle Larson, the boys governing themselves. Now, Kyle Larson knows to not jack with Ryan Preece anymore. Because although his car might be lesser, and Kyle Larson is definitely better right now than Ryan Preece, hey, listen, and that's the way it is, right? It's like the little short guy is mad at the big guy. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to get you. But every once in a while, them cars become the same. So even though Kyle Larson is better than Ryan Preece, hey, you go up in the Northeast, Ryan Preece is a god. He's like a Kyle Larson on dirt. Ryan Preece has won everything there is to win in the Northeast. So everybody's got their regions. Everybody's great in their little deal. I mean, sometimes we got drivers that are heroes of their county because they win at this track and that track, and there's 2 tracks within 30 miles of each other. So, Ryan Preece is a hero up in the Northeast. Kyle Larson is a hero in the dirt world. So, trophy goes to Ryan Preece. I've never done that before. I like that. That was pretty cool. All right. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed my point of view on the Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece drama. But here we go again. I think it's dirt versus asphalt. I hope not. I've worked my ass off to marry the two together. I don't think that's going to happen. But all right, listen, we're going to do this 2 more times. We have a microphone. You can hear us really good. Look, I'm talking into it. So, ow, Herman, quit laughing so loud. All right, you can find us in podcast form on iTunes and Spotify. That's one of my bad habits. Always cracking my knuckles. Charlie tells me to keep my hands off the desk because, listen, he says, Herman, keep your hands off the desk. The microphone picks it up. That's why my hands are all up here now. And plus, my elbows get tight. I like my Fox High shirt. That's my school. Or as Richard Petty say, skew. And how about the Red Dog car up there? We got it going on. All right. Until next time.